Hey guys, Clumsy here. Welcome back to Explain. And I forgot to switch the intro. Some people will be complaining again. Why use a truck intro for a flight sim stream? How are you guys? Thank you for joining. We are back. We are one day late, but thank you for still making it. Scotsman, as always, the first one to type at least. I think Jay was here quite a few minutes, hours ago. As always, thank you for joining. So we have Scotsman, Jay, Alex. How have you guys been doing? And Jack. You've been streaming a while ago, right? I wasn't able to join in, sorry. Can't believe you have a truck intro for a plane vid. Boo! Unsub. No Swiss pick. Goodness, it's terribly hot. Let me just turn on the air conditioning here. I will not be able to survive 3 hours with this one. Turn that on. There you go. Let's put a timer. Let's put in maybe, 2 hours. Okie dokie. 2nd May. Will there be an ATS episode on your YouTube today? Or there will be. Ah, cool. Live on May Day. Oh yeah, it is still May 1 over there, huh? Happy Labor Day, guys. Happy Labor Day. How have you been doing? Hey, Grace. Hey, Tom. Thank you for joining. Grace, or also known as AP. Are you also planning to change your Twitch name? Yeah, we have transcode. Wow, lucky. And how's the new Wi-Fi? How's the new room location treating you? Not for the streamer. That's fine. I can adjust. Let me just adjust the windows here because the sunlight is seeping through. And it's making the screen glare, which is not helping with the visibility. Labor Day is not till August. So why do you have the holiday then? On May. It's not Labor Day there, but it's still a holiday? Interesting. You forgot to change your name here. Well, it's not too late. Anyway, so we are back in Explain. You might have seen the video, or at least might have seen the thumbnail in the channel. If you're not updated with the Explain vids on the channel, on the YouTube channel. But I've recently been drooling over the Premiere 1A release from Carenado. So I thought, let's go and check it out. We are currently in an airport where it's quite bushy. You can see there's actually a tree right beside the plane. I'm not really sure how I'll be able to taxi out. I guess we'll just have to cut it off as we go. We'll just wing it. Get it? Oh man, that was bad. Sorry, I couldn't resist. We'll just wing it. Labor Day in US is August. Ah, okay, interesting. So you shouldn't have a holiday then. It was Alex, yes, who was trying to help you. It's a very thin tree, that's true. 2D trees for the win. Our wing shouldn't have a problem with that. Let me have a look. My lights. So later on we'll turn off the music so we can quite hear the engine. It's a bit quiet, but I guess in reality it is rather on that side as well. I do love it though. The Premiere 1A feels really like a premium jet. Corporate jet. Not sure how you call it, but it feels very premium, feels very luxurious. And most of all, I can fly alongside the Premiere 1 driver, the guy who I've been watching on YouTube for quite a while, for quite some time recently. I spent a lot of time watching him yesterday and I'll tell you about it. But yeah, this plane is pretty interesting, lots of things modeled in. The exterior model looks to be pretty accurate as far as I can tell, as far as my layman's eyes can tell. I don't see any imperfections there in the model. You can also have some animations wherein you can adjust the front and rear baggage doors like that. You can lift the main door, remove the static elements, yeah, the covers and stuff, the chokes. You can even remove and put in a false window, that one on the 4th slot there. A deer wouldn't get stuck in that tree. How goes deer hunting, by the way? Or maybe lion hunting, I should say. Plywood tree. Change the file type from RAR to SCS. You had to change the file type. That's interesting. Normally, you wouldn't need to do that. But that's good to hear that you made it work. Cool. So yeah, this is how the plane looks in the interior. Let's go and open again the main door because we haven't loaded our passengers yet. And let me share with you the plan for today. One thing I don't really like is this ACO. Good thing you can hide it using the mouse wheel. So you'll only be left with that white line there, which is very non-obtrusive. Commercial flight. Not flying with the 737 now though. This feels more personal to me, I don't know. The 737 is amazing, but sometimes you just want a bit more. Like more of a personal touch. And I'm really in the mood for that, and P1D is definitely helping with that sentiment. So it kind of feels nice watching real life videos of pilot flying a specific plane and then being able to fly that exact plane in the sim. There's something to say about that. So we are coming from Kilo Lima, what is G? Golf Charlie, which is, how do you say it? Lagrange in Georgia. And we'll make our way to Atlanta International. Hartsfield, Atlanta International, still in Georgia. It's going to be a very short flight, 50 nautical miles. So we're just going to fly VFR, 11,000 feet maybe, if we can manage. Just test the plane for a bit, because in Atlanta there is a very long haul job which I like to take. I haven't done that long job before yet, so I want to try it out with this plane. That emote looks weird. Which one? Alex did something in a cornfield and we couldn't find any animals. Did something. Is this something the opposite of a bait? This is a family stream. Atlanta, big airport, definitely. Yeah, big airport. If you look at the airport diagram, I think I can show it here. It's massive. Like there are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runways. So many stuff. And if you browse through the approach procedures, the stars, the SIDS, look at that. So many. Goodness. And we'll try to cover some of that. This emote looks weird. Yeah, feels like you can make that into a meme. You got your mods working. Yeah, I can imagine that. Yeah, it really feels amazing, doesn't it? The first time you enable mods, I can still remember the feeling. You look like a monk in that emote. Yeah, I can imagine putting in a couple of things there. Maybe a straw or something. Yeah, that can be made into a meme pretty quickly, that emote. Hey, let's go back here. So Carenado does provide a lot of the checklists as well, and the performance tables and whatnot. So things like that. So we will refer to that in a bit. One sec. I think I want that read mode. Like that and that. Yeah, perfect. So lots of things to tinker with. So we'll check it out, and I'll mention some of the quirks I found as well. It's not perfect, but it's very good, and it's perfect for role playing and flying alongside P1D. That was supposed to be there. Ah, okay, I see. Maybe you just have to change the angle. Close enough. Delta Airlines is actually based at Atlanta Airport. Ah, cool. So that's why they have so many gates here. That figures. Now it makes sense. Right, let's go into the plane. Start exploring it. Not sure if you want to... yeah, maybe that would be nice. A view of the passenger area. So you know where you'll be sitting and where you'll need to really fasten your seatbelts and where you'll have to hang on to for dear life. Door is open. If you close it, that also reflects here. That's pretty cool. You can't really click on it though, can you? Yeah, I don't think so. But I can click through here, which is fine. What was that topic? Looking like a monk is a good thing. Only if you like humbles too. There are many extra Washington and Utah roads in the beta. Ah, nice. I wasn't able to see... well, I guess I saw a little bit in the video when I was exploring it. I saw that dam. I forgot the name, but it was definitely not Hoover Dam. So you can have the tray tables open. Let's close that for now. You can close the windows. Very nice. What does this lever do? Emergency exit. Let's not... you can, I think, tinker with it, but I don't think we'll be able to fly if we pull that. You can even adjust the lights. Open the door there. There should be a toilet here somewhere. In reality, P1D has showed that a bit, and he says that even though it's like a luxurious thing, and he's like the pilot, he has to manage everything, and so that includes cleaning the toilet as well. Just a bit, but it's part of the job. Or maybe he outsources it, who knows. Wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, the model looks pretty good and it's as close as possible. I don't see any inaccuracies at all based on the videos I've seen. Let's close that one back, but let's keep this one in front open. Hey Silver, thank you for dropping by and thank you for 9 months, Twitch baby. Is that still a thing? Thank you, appreciate it. I kind of figured out it was not Hoover Dam, but I was not 100% sure. Let's put it like that. Yeah. GG indeed, thank you. Appreciate that, Silver. Drive into Idaho from Ontario. I didn't know that. Where would you go? Stew and Latin translation. Does it fit? So I've been trying to keep up to date with the SES forums. Let's go and share updates once the plane is afloat. I haven't been able to read today though, so might be a bit behind, just a tad. Anyway, let's start the engine. Actually, no. Let's start with the flight plan first. So let me turn on the battery. Turn on avionics so we can set up our flight plan. And this plane does have an FMS, although the FMS that is used in this mod is quite basic. It's only the laminar default, so not as comprehensive as the 737 we've been working with. So let me go back to FS Economy here. Kilo Lima Golf Charlie, and then Atlanta. Kilo Lima Golf Charlie, put that there. Kilo Alpha Tango Lima destination. Let's pick the runway. Runway I think was I forgot which one I chose, but there are winds. Okay, let's play it properly. Kilo Lima Golf Charlie. AWOS. What is the difference between ATIS and AWOS? Does anyone know? The radios are also here in this FMS. So we can put in 126.32. Don't even need to put the point in. Put that there. Switch it. And nothing happens. But maybe I can switch the frequency somewhere.
Lagrange Callaway
There.
weather. Wind 140 at 5, visibility more than 10. Sky clear, temperature 27, dew point 19. Altimeter 3016.
3016. Temperature 27. Wow, that's like in here. Wind is 140 at 5. Okay, that's good. 140 at 5 it is. Excuse me. Yeah, cough's still not gone. It's a bit crappy. Afloat. Are we going over water? The plane is a bit floaty, so I think it's a fair description. Goes into Jay's live streams. Cool. Just one single road. Yeah, some pretty interesting tidbits there, huh? To tease us, new roads and stuff. Use those bags as a flotation device. How many bags will you fill today, I wonder? They won't float after use. Yeah. Yeah, still have a cough and cold. It's crappy, but fine. What was the winds again? 140, right? So it's runway 13. Let's take that. And then let's check the situation in Atlanta. Yeah. ATIS is 119.65. I wonder if we can play it already. If we can. 119.65. Already have it active. I guess we're still too far away. But we can go and check the weather here. At least. It's 130 at 7 knots. So if we're looking for an arrival, 130, the closest one we'll get is runway 10. Runway 10 I think will work, and it's an ILS approach. So let's go with that. But I'll have to check which transition we'll have to take. So let me go back to Sky Vector and see ILS 10. That guy. Can you guys see that? I think it's a bit too small, huh? Let me open a new window so we can see it better. That one looks better. Okay, so we had some choices, either Dewey or Yins, and we have some approach, some arrival procedures here, but they're a bit outdated. Like my navigation data is outdated with what's currently in there. And I'm guessing in the Atlanta, the big airport, lots of changes happening every time, and this seems so outdated. I do want to point something out though. This is very interesting. I noticed that whoever made all these approach codes, or however you call it, is a huge Star Wars fan. So if you look at the approach charts here, or the arrival charts, or was it? Actually, both. Lord of the Rings, so you can see Gandalf, Hobbit, Jedi, and if you look at the Jedi, the waypoints. Let me just open a new window. Not you. I'll get back to chat in a bit, guys. Give me a second. I want to show this. This is pretty cool. Where was it? Jedi 2. So if I flip that, we zoom in a bit. Yeah, you'll see here on the right where my mouse is, it's Ewok. We have Skywalker. We have, is that Leia? Lando, Chewie, Boba Fett. So all the waypoints are like Wookiee, Death Star. What else? Jedi. It's so cool. And I guess the Gandalf arrival is filled with Lord of the Rings references. That's pretty cool. I like it. And this one is Hoth. And that actually fits because look at my shirt right now. Or you might not be able to see it, but you'll get it. Yeah, that actually fits. Princess Leia approach. Haba. How about the Jabba the Hutt approach? Will you like that? Maybe not. Oh, the audio issues in the ATS video was a completely different thing. My system is a bit finicky when I'm recording or before I record, and when I change some audio settings like the active audio device. But if the voice meter is already enabled or already active when I do that, then it produces that flickering, that popping sound. And in that case, I forgot to like reboot voice meter, so that's why it was causing those popping sounds. I hate it, but it's untrackable until you finish the recording and review it. So it's a bit too late after. I hate it, but yeah, that's the best I can offer. Star Wars for the win. Yeah, very fitting. I would love to take this Jedi 2 Arrival, but I cannot see it in my. I think this is fairly new, I guess. Look at that, April 25, 2019. It's a bit reversed. Oh, you can't see it. One sec. April 25 to May 23, 2019. So it's fairly new. And it's only Jedi 2. It's only 2. The second iteration, I'm guessing. So it must be fairly new when it was created. So if we go back to explain, I won't see a Jedi 2 reference here. The Arrival. Let me catch up to chat before we continue with this. Only 2 days till May the 4th day. What is happening in May the 4th? And how about Cinco de Mayo, May 5? Is there something happening in where you guys are from? Here in Singapore, it's not really big. But I saw it in my calendar and I figured maybe it's a big US holiday. It came from where? Mexico? Let me go back to the chart. Need to study ILS 10 approach. So in terms of the waypoints, the first one is Dewey. But even before Dewey, do we have something beforehand? Okay, Dewey or CT? Okay, let's see. Let's go back here. Dewey or Yins. Okay, let's go and check Dewey. Where is Yins? I don't even see Yins here in this chart, in this plate. No, I don't see it. Dewey. Yins is here. Okay, that's that one. You are not able to see my screen, huh? It didn't switch. Yeah. One sec. There you go. Rat's Raw. It's just Star Wars backwards. Close enough. So we can either arrive from Yins or head straight into Dewey, which is here. I'm just going to head straight into Dewey. No, actually, Yins is perfect because we're coming from the southwest. We're going northeast. So we'll be approaching from Yins and then we can transition to the ILS 10 approach. Yeah, let's go with Yins instead. I think that makes more sense. So let's remove that. Bring it back. Pick Yins. Let's double check the route. There's always a discontinuity with laminar FMS. I don't really get it, but you just remove that and now it works. Yins, City, and then ILS 10. And if we review the legs, 50, runway 13, 30, 10, 7. Yeah, shouldn't be far. Shouldn't be far, right? Let me just review again the airport diagram here. So if I... Actually, there's no airport diagram here in Lagrange. Okay. But we do have a couple of runways. And I'm guessing, I'm hoping, 13 is the one I am looking for. 13310321. Okay, we'll find it. We'll find it later. Let's get back here and start it up. Did I finish the 8 a.m. habit? Yes, before I started the stream. Hashtag 8 a.m. habit for the win. So after setting up the flight plan, let's climb. Should be fine. Transition altitude is 18,000. That's when we switch to flight levels, and that's when we switch the altimeter setting to standard 2992. So that's 18,000 in the US, so that's perfect. We also have a speed limit of 250 knots, 10,000 feet and under. So that is set here, although that doesn't really take into effect in this plane. We'll set the cruising altitude to 11,000 for this flight. And this is mainly so we can go beyond 250 knots. But we don't want to go that far up top because it's only going to be 50-mile journey, and we're going to be reaching that pretty fast. So the plan is to head from here in Lagrange to Atlanta Airport, and then from there we'll pick up another job, which is quite a long haul, like 400 miles. Longest one I've taken so far, at least. The descent, the most important thing here is the VPA. I forgot what that means, but that's the descent angle. Right now it's 2.5 degrees. I can set that to 3. And when I execute, the FMS would compute when I have to descend from 11,000 feet. So I set 11,000. It knows which legs I have to take. So it's going to plan 11,000. And then at a certain point, it will tell me to descend at a 3-degree angle. And you can see top of descent is in 20 miles from now. Yeah, so not too bad. Hey Da, thank you for joining. How are you? How's the Train Sim World thingy? And still enjoying it? Okay, but that looks good. So now we should be able to start the engines. Let me turn off the avionics again. As a general rule, right? Let's get our passengers loaded in the first place. So let's load them up. And that would also reset the fuel, supposedly. So if I start the flight, that should reset. There you go. And now we can close the main door and get our engine started. We do have a GPU connected, so it will be easier for the start. We don't have to use our batteries, which will always help. And I think in the checklist it says you have to pull this to arm the oxygen, but doesn't seem like it's modeled in. Let me just go through these things as well. Anti-skid, you want that. Boost pump. What I've seen P1D do is it turns them on for a second and then brings them back to auto, just to maybe force the loading. Bleed air, turn it off for now, but we have to remember to turn that on, okay? Remind me, please. Otherwise, it's going to be a very short flight. As with what happened in the video, the first look video. Okay, over here, let's arm the ignition. Let's turn the ignition on, actually. ECU, enable that. Not sure if it works very well, the ECU, to be honest, but not sure if it's modeled in. Good. Unlock. Let's remove the locks here. Forgets everything. Which one? To freeze the entire Paddington to Reading line. Ooh. That looks like a sinister LOL. Looks pretty good though. Good job. Okay, so from there, we should be able to get the engine started already, and it's much simpler than with the other planes. So we just have to press this yellow button here to start the second engine. We'll see N2. Once that reaches around 12% N2, we can introduce fuel. And that should make the ITT as well as the N1 climb introduce fuel flow, oil pressure starting. And we'll just monitor that the ITT doesn't go beyond the red line and that the starter cuts off. Once it cuts off, we can turn on the generator and that will also extinguish the corresponding warning lights here. So left generator, left oil pressure is still low, still off, but the right one is fixed already, is working. And if we toggle this, the right generator, you'll see that there's already voltage in there. If you look at the left gen, it's still 0 because we haven't enabled it yet. Okay, so let's do that for the left generator. N2 at 12%, there we go, oil pressure is climbing. Introduce fuel, fuel flow climbs, ITT rises, N1 increases, and then ITT supposedly, hopefully, stabilizes. There you go. Okay, good. Looks good. So now we can turn on the left generator as well. That will extinguish those warning lights, and we should be in a better place now. Bleed air, put that to normal. Temperature, pressurization is in auto. We're good there. I think we're okay. Did I miss anything? I hope not. We'll know later. Pitot heat, I'll turn on. Windshield heat, I guess I'll turn on just to be on the safe side. And I think we're good there. And now we can turn on avionics. Go to prog, go to nav radio. There we go. Hey, Gato. Should remind you something. Ah, yes, the bleed air. Thank you. Yeah, thanks. Hey, Gato, how's the trip? Quite a long trip you had. I guess you had fun, huh? You've been sharing a lot of photos and stories. Maybe you have some more stories for us. We'd be happy to hear. Okay, this part here is the autopilot. Everything that has to do with autopilot. So we'll set our altitude. You can see the flight level change there. Actually, I don't think it should be flight level at this point, right? But yeah, I also asked about that, but I think that's as designed in this plane, at least in this model, in this simulated model. So we'll keep it that way. Flight level 110, which is actually just 11,000 feet. Also, I wanted to test some things because P1D always does some tests with the sounds. I think this is how it does it. The master test, which tests out the different lights and stuff. And I forgot to turn on the lights. Nav and beacon for now. No smoking and seatbelt signs, it's enabled as well. Yeah, to simulate all the possible warnings. Stall, that was a bit loud. Fire alarm and all that stuff. Bye, Mrs. Clumsy. Almost a month on the road, wow. Headphone users rip. Thanks, guys. Wow, almost a month. Must have been one heck of a journey. Alright, we're good. Let us get this started because my meter is running. I already enabled X economy, right? So that means my rental of this plane, the count has started already. So well, let's get started. Ah, my goodness. Sucks. Have to take some medicine. I'll do that later. Parking brake off. Let's taxi. Question is, where do we go? Are those runways? I guess those are runway directions. So we'll turn right. We'll follow it. Runway 13. Lowrider Volvo FH400 on open pipes. Wow, that must have sounded pretty amazing, huh? Let's go and check out the map here. Lots of trees. Let's try to stay out of the way of those trees. There we go. That's runway 13 for sure. So we make another right and then just follow the road. Windsock is consistent with the wind heading here and the PFD. That's good. Why am I not moving though? There we go. Got a wedding tomorrow. 2-hour flight or 2-hour trip. Oh, trees. Let's try to avoid the trees. Let's go through here instead. Runway 13. Oh, so many trees here. It's insane. Sticker trees, floating trees, 2D trees, all the kinds of trees you can imagine. A pulled hamstring. Wow, you live a pretty active lifestyle. Lots of injuries. Tree-friendly airport, yeah. We can call it, yeah, that's the in thing nowadays, right? Organic stuff, eco-friendly. I think they made it like one step further, being an eco-friendly airport. Plopping in trees, actually. There we go, runway 13. Let's hold short and make sure we have everything set up before we do so, though. Some popping and noises. That's not my mic anymore. That's just the mod. And yeah, it's pretty quiet. You can hardly hear it. Let me turn off the music for a sec. Right. There we go. Let's open landing lights. Recog lights, strobes as well. Runway heading. I should set the runway heading, but I don't know what it is. So I'll just set 13. 130. I don't know the exact one. Okay. Good to go. I think that's fine. And I'll try to do VFR. And I'll try to do, how do you say? What do you call this? I'll try to hand fly it. Yeah, that might be too much for me, but I'll try to hand fly it. Flight level change, nav. Okay, so the flight director will follow the flight plan, but it won't fly for me. I'll have to do everything on my own. And we have to check the ref speeds as well. I forgot about that. V1, VR, V2. So what I'll need to do is to check our weight, we are at 10,600 pounds. So that's like 10.5. And I can consult the performance tables for that, because it doesn't have an FMS which computes the V1, VR, V2, unlike the 737. Maybe in reality it does, but this one not. 10.5, and S80 is 27 degrees, so it's quite hot. Okay, 27 degrees, so somewhere in the middle of 20 and 30, 10.5. So let's put it at 103, 107, 119, just to round it off. 103 V1, 107 rotation speed, ouch, and 119 V2. That should be good to go for now. And then let's set the VREF later as we before we land. Altimeter setting. I know I set it up
Lagrange
already.
Callaway weather. Wind 140
3016.
at 5. Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 27.
Okay, that's enough. That's good enough. Hey Maximizer. Graphics mods for X-Plane? Not really. Welcome to the stream, by the way. How many of us don't make it to the next airport? Thank you for the vote of confidence. By the way, that's a good point. We'll have to get it ready. So I'll actually set it up now, because it's going to be a very short flight. ILS 10, runway 10, has a frequency of 111.55, 1155. So if I can set that up already, 111.55, set that up both in nav1 and nav2. And then the course also adjust to 95 degrees. 95 there, and I don't think I can change this one yet. Yeah, it's a bit finicky that way. Maybe I can change it right now like this one. There we go. And then go back to FMS. That's how you set up the ILS. I'll have to change the preset when we approach the localizer. It's not going to be automatic. And I'm not sure if that's by design. I have a feeling it's not, but okay, fine. Okay, so that's good. I think we're all good to go. Let's do it. The graphics are quite good. You can improve it a lot more, but as it is, it's not bad. And I have some like ortho photos set up so that the landscapes look even more realistic. Some mods in. Maybe that you can call that graphics mods as well. But they mainly change the textures and stuff. Make the models more accurate and stuff like that. Do we have crosswind? Not really. I think we have runway 13. There we go. There's a different paint job. Totally different paint job here. Red. That's a bit scary. And off we go. You can see in the speed tape V1 and rotation speed. V1 is reached and rotate. And positive rate. Put the landing gear up. Let's watch it climb up. And no flap settings. No flaps whatsoever. Okay. Nav. Okay. There we go. So now I'll follow the flight director. Whatever it's telling me to do. Not on the Cessna anymore. Yeah, we've had a bit of an upgrade. We're flying with jets now.
Jackson Information Victor. 1000 Zulu weather. Wind 140 at 7. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 4,500 few, 20,000 scattered, 25,000 broken. Temperature 26, dew point 17. Altimeter 3019. Arriving runways 08 left, 09 right, 10. Departing runways 08 left.
Arriving runways
right,
10. Yeah, that's what we chose.
Left.
Good.
Advise on initial contact. You have Victor.
We have Victor. You usually use that for ATC contact, but in our case, not needed. Altimeter is 3019. Maybe we can set that up already. We're quite near anyway. Won't hurt that much.
Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson Information.
Okay, turn that
Victor.
off. Up, 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 up. Follow the flight director. Should you buy the game? It depends. If you like what you see, you can stay and maybe check it out if you're enjoying it. But yeah, for me, I definitely love it. I wasn't a fan of flight sims before. I wasn't even into planes before, but this sim just made me could do a complete 180. There we go. Last time you were here, we were still learning the Cessna. Yeah, a lot has happened since then. A lot has happened since then. The Boeing airliner. Did that go well? That's a good question. I'm not sure how to answer that. It went well in some cases, not so much in others. I guess that we could say. He got stuck in air. I was able to land in some cases. Forgot to turn on the yaw damper. Yeah, that should help with the overall comfort of the flight. That beep meant 1,000 feet to go, and we are good. You know what? I'll just turn on autopilot here. I'll let the plane do the piloting for me so that I can focus on other stuff. After takeoff checks, lock that. We don't want the lift dump turning on at any point during our flight. It's going to be very messy otherwise. And it's going to be a short flight. If you look at the flight plan, it's only 9 miles till top of descent, so we have to go down shortly. We have to descend shortly. And we will be descending at let me look here, 8,000 feet initially to Yins. Okay, so let me set that up. Altitude, set it to 080. And we'll see that in the map. There should be a green dot, that one, that will be reaching soon, that one. And that's when we'll start our descent. We have 19 knots tailwind. And I am flying a bit too fast. Let me slow down a bit here. It's a full stream. Which question was that? Yeah, you can wait for a sale. That's what I did. Waited for a sale and then bought X-Plane. And I have no regrets. Loving it fully. Sorry, I'm a bit behind with chat. Not at all, Tom. No problem. Talking a lot is not a problem here. Yeah, it's all good, man. You're very much welcome here. Alright, so did I miss something? I hope we don't run out of oxygen this time. My first look video was a bit of a disaster. Because I forgot to turn on the bleed air and then the pressure kept climbing. Actually, the pressure... Yeah, the pressure did not keep climbing, so kind of lost oxygen. We have to descend now. Stop talking for a bit. Adjust the pitch. And I have to really slow down because by 10,000 we have to be at 250 knots or lower. Otherwise, the what do you call it? The air police might not like it. Later we'll have more chances to explore and enjoy the scenery, but for now, just a very short flight to Atlanta. Then once we take that job, we'll have a better chance. Okay, approaching 10,000 feet, approaching 250 knots. I think we'll make it just in time. Yeah, made it just in time. Perfect. Okay, good. Let me turn on the landing lights already. Actually, I didn't even have a chance to turn it off. Okay, that quick, huh? And adjust for a more aggressive pitch. So I'm changing the way the pitch. Sorry, the pitch of the plane. Right now it's around 3 degrees. That should set us up properly for the arrival. 1,000 feet to go. Let me get back to you in a bit, guys. Quite a lot of things to do. Even with autopilot, still so many things I need to adjust. And it's just quite daunting. Right. Set it to 4,000 feet. So we can continue our descent. What the heck happened there? Yeah, when the weather refreshes, you get that huge like jump because the weather updates. So it becomes super clear 1 second and then the clouds pop up again. And that makes the plane just bounce around and beyond 250. Who needs oxygen? I know, right? Yeah, but that disaster was really, yeah, it was not good. It was not a happy disaster. I mean, what disaster is happy anyway? But you get what I mean. Running out of oxygen mid-flight while doing a first look video is not friendly. Set it up for arrival, for landing. And yeah, you can see it's very quiet plane because the engines are way back there and jet engines. So the only time you can hear it is outside like this. And what I like to do is I like to simulate Premier One driver's camera angles with this GoPro, which is this one and that one, and also the PFD and MFD look camera. So simulating the GoPro stuff. It's very nice. Role playing for the win. 4,000, next waypoint is 2,700. But we can only descend there after we cross this waypoint Dewey. So let's keep it at 4,000 for now, and we'll descend more later. The oxygen from the video, yeah. Pothole. Pothole in ATS. I read some stuff that it was not intentional in ATS. Okay, now we can descend. Now we can start our descent again. 2,700 feet. Something like that. And we should have, let me see, let me zoom out a bit so we have an idea. Are we actually, should we be at the runway already? Soon? Yes, we are like 15 miles away from the runway. So we should be able to capture the localizer soon. Let me adjust the heading here. Sorry guys, I know I'm really lagging behind chat, but this requires so much concentration. 1 second. Okay, still nothing on the localizer. Let's wait for a bit. Maybe when we get to Z-Man. Fly a helicopter. Yeah, it's going to take a while. I have to get used to planes first. Couldn't fly it for more than 2 minutes, that's true. I tried the tutorial and the tutorial gave up on me. So let me clear this clutter on the radar. That one. That's the runway already, so we should be able to capture the localizer soon. There it is. There it is. Okay, so from here, if I click approach, then that should make me descend properly. And you can see the indicators here. We are right in the middle of the horizontal, how do you say? I'm not sure about the term, but you get what I mean. And the vertical, we're still below. So the ideal height is above, so we'll keep it at 2,700 until that goes down, and then we'll go down with it. We'll descend with it. That's supposedly how it works. Learning to fly a plane will not help you fly a helicopter. Okay, but my brain can only handle so much. So I think I'll stay with planes first. Does anyone see the runway? Oh, I see it. There it is. There it is. I don't see any lights though, not even PAPI lights, which is interesting. I'm not getting in a helicopter with Mr. C. What, you don't trust my flying skills? Or floating skills? Speaking of floating skills, we'll have a lot of floating happening in this landing. Yeah, so prepare yourselves, okay? I'm not very good at landing, you guys know that. And I'm even worse at it in this plane, because this plane really wants to fly. Even at idle, it can take off. Alright, Grace, AP. Have a good one, man. Glad you made it here. Alright, we can see that star on the vertical path is starting to go down now. So ideally, if it works, yeah, it says GS there. So we have captured the glide slope. So once that goes down, yeah. Okay, it works. Perfect. That's exactly what I'm hoping for. So now it is adjusting for the glide slope, and we should be maintaining it all throughout. So now I can lower my landing gear. Bring down one level of flaps, bit by bit, until we reach that ideal spot. Although VREF I forgot to set, and I think it's a bit late for that now. Oops. Yeah, even with all that, even ignoring the chat, still am not able to consider everything. Let's slow down here. Normally VREF is around 114, 110. So I'll have to really slow down here a lot. Yeah, let's follow that VREF. The default one should be more than enough. This one looks good. Yeah, that front view. It looks so professional. It doesn't seem like the pilot is panicking behind the seat. Once we get to VREF, I'll turn off autopilot. And from there, hang on tight because it's going to be a pretty wild ride. There you go. Should be able to turn off autopilot now and the yaw damper. And from here on out, it's up to us. We're a bit high, but should not be that much of a problem. Focusing a bit here, guys, so pardon me if I don't respond so much. See how floaty it is? How floaty it is. Granted, I really have that tendency to nose up, but it's just so floaty. That was at idle. That's with the lift dump and everything. Okay, let me just turn off the runway here and I can get back to chat. I know that the replay will probably not look very good, but so far that's how all my landings have been. Landing a bit and then floating and then finally getting the right angle and then settling down. Yeah. Let me retract the flaps. Turn off landing and recog lights. I think we should be just be able to taxi here somewhere. It's a business jet. They work in a different way. What do you mean? In what way? The floaty thing? Ride the bubble. Use your feelings. Yeah. Forget the pilot. You should see the passengers. What is that about an alligator? Gator attraction. Someone wrestles a gator. Wow. Okay, can I stop anywhere here? I guess we'll just stop somewhere. Then we'll make a U-turn anyway because we'll start the flight in a bit. If air pressure warning was this loud, I'd be deaf by now. It's like a small car with a fast engine. Ah, yes, definitely. Feels so different and I like it, but it requires really some getting used to. Okay, parking brake. Let's retract the speed brakes, and I think just wait here. I won't even turn off the engine for now. Open the main door. You can actually hear it better if you open the main door. That's interesting. Nice modeling. And let's drop off the passengers and see how much we made. Good. Yeah, I think I know what you mean. And I definitely agree. Feels so different. It's just such a strong jet. It can come down off the ceiling now. So wait, let's do a replay of that. I know it wasn't pretty, but maybe we can find some positive things there. We'll see. And it's close the door because it doesn't close by itself. Okay, let's start from here. Oh, that's a beautiful intersection. Wow. No one's moving though. Right, stable approach. And we'll see where things go wrong. I should really resist the nose up reflex. That's the main difference I notice. There it is. Looks good so far. But yeah, the only problem I think was that nose up. So it kind of lifted up again. I really should resist that reflex of flaring. Flaring too much at least. Because it really wants to fly. They all stopped to watch you land. Yeah, I think you're right. They wanted to see the blooper. Okay, let's take that next job so I can relax a bit. And we can stay up in the air much longer. Because that 150 miles is just too short. That is just too short. Let's go for airport. Go to Atlanta. There should be a lot of... let's take the longest job. I saw this one, yeah. 433 miles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Starfleet regional passengers. So we can take that. This has a maximum of 7 passengers. And then we can plan that accordingly. Where was it? As add to my flight. And then rent out the Premier one again. I learned Raytheon is actually a what do you call it? The old name. There have been a couple of company merges and stuff, but Raytheon was probably the owner before, at one point, before it became Beechcraft. So let's rent that again. Should I rent it wet this time? I guess I rent it wet this time because we're flying very long. So if I don't have to incur any of the fuel costs, then that will be much better for me. And the fuel estimates here, they are very inaccurate. For this plane, if I enter 433 miles here, it says 147 gallons, impossible. Yeah, I would probably go full or almost full here. I don't know, I don't trust that. I've run out of fuel just following that calculation. But anyway, let's set it up first. Atlanta to, where is this? Wabash, Indiana. Any of you familiar with that place? Kilo India Whiskey Hotel, is it? Yes, okay. So that's 430 miles, that's consistent. But we'll probably have to take some more like procedures, stars and SIDS. Although Wabash doesn't really have an approach, an arrival procedure, so we'll just go straight into the runway. That's good, it's okay. Okay, Atlanta, 15005, so we'll probably take off on the same runway. Runway 10, and then we'll be arriving... how's the weather looking here? We don't know. Alright, I'll plug it in and we'll see. Okay, let's set up the flight plan. So now we start from Atlanta. And Kilo India Whiskey Hotel. So that should reset everything. If I go to the flight plan, there should be nothing there. Yeah. So departing runway 10. Skip the SIDS. We don't need that complexity in our life. How do you even find the appropriate SID for a runway? Is there an easy way to do that? Because I have to do trial and error, go through each one, check if that's for the runway, check if that's heading the same way I'm heading. So right now we're going north, so not everything goes north. I think air traffic control should give that to us, but if we were doing it on our own, if we were doing the flight plan, how do you even start there? Is there an easier way than just trial and error? Okay, let's plug in that airport. Kilo India Whiskey Hotel. There you go. No weather information available. A good one. Okay, so we'll just, I don't know. Just go runway 27 maybe. Runway 27 using RNAV. Let's go and check the charts here. CACSOG, latest, or Tili. CACSOG. Okay. CACSOG is that one. Latest is that one. Tili is that one. So we'll be coming from the south. So I guess latest would work with us. Transitioning from latest to CACSOG and then onto the runway heading. And the RNAV runway 27 approach. That should work. So it should be latest. Alright, that one. So if we look at the legs, let's remove the discontinuity first. There we go. So the legs would show us 425 miles just direct. Latest CACSOG cooked runway 27. Yeah, it would have been nice to have to go through more waypoints though, wouldn't it? Like instead of just going straight, like really going through the airways. That would be nice. Is there a real route with this? Maybe I can plug that in. How would that look? That would be 450 miles. But that would actually look more professional, right? Because you go through some of the real routes. BAPI, Nelo, HCH. Yeah, let's try it. Let's try it. Maybe we can work with that. I have to take note of those in a notepad though, just so I won't have to alt tab every single time. Okay, there you go. Bear with me here. Let's see. So I think I'll have to remove this first. Doesn't play well when you combine the arrival already. Has to be sequential. So we depart from runway 10 and then we go to BAPI direct, I think. Does that work? Yeah, BAPI. And then we take V97 to Nelo. Let me adjust it so you can see. Then we take V311 to Hotel Charlie Hotel. V51 to India uniform. That uniform or unicorn? I always forget. One sec. V51. India uniform. I'll go with uniform. It sounds more professional. V53 to Victor Hotel Papa. And then we have V96. Why is no one chatting in stream? It's usually the case with Explain. It's not a very chatty stream when it comes to Explain. I think not a lot of hype. V96. Oscar Kilo. There you go. And if you look at the legs here, that should look pretty good. BAPI. I didn't put that in. So runway 10, then BAPI, Ensor, Nelo. Okay, HCH. Okay, it adds more waypoints because I go through some airways. IIU is there. Victor Hotel Papa is there. And then OKK. Okay, perfect. Alright, and now we can add in the runway. Which did I pick? Runway 27 and latest, right? I think so. So if you look at the flight plan, It's good, except we have to remove that bit. That bit, there you go. And now it should look pretty professional. Look at that, like a real flight plan. Okay, so since we're traveling pretty high here, let's go and take the highest flight level available. Cruising altitude 410. Although the S8, the static air temperature isn't doing very well. It's very high, so I don't think we might not be able to reach 410. Let me consult the performance tables 1 sec. I'll be back in a bit. There are service ceilings here. So let's go with this for example. Yeah, if you look ISA plus 20. Oh, this is ISA, not SAT. Okay, let's go and look for the deviation. 13 degrees. Okay, 13 degrees is around this point. So let's say the maximum would be around. Well, that kind of sucks, doesn't it? Would it change as we change altitude? Maybe that becomes better as we go. Because I would really like to reach 41,000. This is with engine and wing anti-ice on though. 2 sugars. Tea with your ice cream. Enjoy. I'll have to wait till lunch for 8. Let's test 410. Let's see if that works at all. Might be bad, but we will see for ourselves. 410. Target speed. Yeah, let's keep that in. And then a 3-degree descent. Should work. Execute. And now if we look at the legs, we'll see no specific flight level, although at Kerch we reach flight level 410. And then we remain there for a while, and then we start our descent. 3-degree descent. Yeah, it's a shame that VNAV doesn't work for this plane, because it would have been so nice to automate that and see that really working on its own. Hopefully in the next few updates. Top of descent 349. Yeah, that will work. Let's trust the system. Okay, good. Let's do that, and now we can let the passengers come in. Coming in on while the engine is open might not be the best idea, but we have to wait. Refuel first. Refuel first. So this is a total of 450 miles. 450 miles is not going to calculate a very smart thing here. 152 gallons. Okay. Let's refuel. I don't trust that. I don't think it's going to be 152. The maximum I can have is, I guess, let me see. My flight. Let's have a look at this plane. So at 75% fuel, we should be able to still take 7 passengers with us. And maybe that's enough if we have 75% fuel. That will make us pretty heavy, but at least we won't run out of 1,065 kilos remains available at fuel level. Okay, let's follow that. So let's refuel to 75%. Local market. So fill up to 412 gallons. That should make us, 7 seats still available. We have 412 gallons now, so that should be more than enough fuel. It's not as scientific, the fuel calculation, as with the 737. I guess there is, in reality, the FMS would take care of that, but that's not really, the full-blown FMS isn't implemented for this plane, unfortunately. So I'll have to settle with that. Okay. Load them up. There we go. 7 people in. Almost full tank there. 1,400 pounds on each side. 2,800 pounds in total. If we look at our weight, we are almost at maximum takeoff weight. 12,500. So if I set my refs here, Refs. Consult the thing. Let's go 12,500. Static air temperature is around 27, so let's go for 30 degrees. So 118, 121, 130. 118. Look at the difference with the previous flight. 118, 121. Was it 130? Should be okay. V2 is mostly used for the single engine anyway, right? I think. Okay, we're good. Lights are okay. Alright, let's close the main door. Why am I moving? Okay, apparently I am not parking brake is not set apparently. Fine. Let's just make a U-turn here. And we'll have to make our way to the beginning of the runway. That's the unfortunate thing. 4 hours later. So I'm guessing 10 should be, yeah, right at the end of this one. So let's just follow the yellow line until the end. Welcome back. What did you get? Okay, so after I take off here and after we set autopilot, we can then talk properly and discuss the update. Altitude, set that to, let's make that a bit more realistic. Let's set it to 19,000, flight level 190 for now, and then I'll just increase it later on. There we go. Hope you plan to share. I don't think that's part of the plan. See? Are we close? Slow down a bit. Yeah, follow it out. I was actually planning on installing another plugin. I think it's called Live Traffic, and it gets the information from one of the real life databases. Don't ask me which one. And it loads up planes so that you see other planes flying and taking off and landing and cruising. But I haven't had a chance to check it out yet, but I'll look. But it's a bit, you'll not be working with them via ATC, so you'll have to like squeeze yourself in the line. But it kind of works as well somehow. You don't want that. Good thing is there's no collision, so you can kind of yeah, it's not that bad. It doesn't sound as bad as that. I don't think anyone wants that, to have planes on the nearby planes. That adds just adds to the risk. FSX has that as default. Oh really? And that's synchronized in real life, like the real planes taking off and landing. Because here in X-Plane you can have AI planes, but they'll be there, but they won't be like, how do you say? Well, maybe we could just enable AI planes in the meantime. But let's not complicate our lives so much. Let's not complicate our lives so much. Flight level change, nav. I think you can enable nav just yet. I'll enable it later. Fighter planes enabled. More chances of crashing into something. That's true. Arm the ignition, unlock the lift dump. Landing and recog lights on. I think we are set there. Yeah, let's take off and start with the chatting. And then I can also go with the music afterwards. We are pretty heavy though. I think this is the heaviest I've set up the plane so far. But it should be a pretty long runway, so we should have enough space. And I'm not setting any flaps because the performance tables don't include the speeds for with flaps enabled, which is a bit sad. It's fine. Oi! What's happening? Did I see that? It took off on its own. Interesting. I think I gathered a bit too much. Oh, maybe the trim was set up incorrectly, but that's fine as long as it took off and didn't crash again. I'm happy with that. Yo, damper, autopilot, nav. There you go. Flight level change. Come on. There you go. Accidentally pressed the up button. No, autopilot was off. But I think the trim was set to be so high and it actually rotated on its own. That's the closest I could imagine it happening. Hey, Os! How are you, man? Long time. How have you been? I see you doing a lot of jobs. And the log. How's it been? Look at that view. That is just beautiful. Let's take a shot there. So what's been up with you guys? How much have you explored of the new experimental beta? I know everyone is excited about that. I'm excited to try it out myself tomorrow. Even more. We have some nice views coming up as we punch through the clouds here. Long time indeed. Both in ATS and in real life work. Nice. So have you tried the experimental beta? We can start with the music again. Yeah, for ATS. Did you notice any significant DirectX 11 differences? I did notice performance improve, but graphics wise quality, not really. Boss, time to take some photos. Out of the loop. Ah, nice. Okay, no problem. Yeah, you might have some fun there. Oh, look at that beauty. Look at that beauty. Yeah, I think we have a thumbnail right there. I am liking that really. Shoo. Yeah, experimental beta is out. And it's looking very good. DirectX 11 has started to be implemented. A lot of people have been expecting a lot on DirectX 11 though, and I think it's a common misconception. It's understandable that when some people are like expecting when DirectX 11 hits, the game should look completely different, and they're saying nothing changed. But then it's not really like that, is it? And that's, I guess, my job as part of the media to help people understand that it's not that way. Take screenshot. Okay, that should be good. Look at that view. It's a bit noisy, but that just looks so good, doesn't it? What we can do is we can lower the volume. So it will be bearable even in the exterior. That is just amazing looking. Let me go check inside to see that nothing has gone wrong. $10,000 in climbing. Oh man, the clouds are really killing us. Turn that off. FPS slowly stabilizing. But as we pass through more clouds, that will not look pretty. This one will look very pretty though. Once we go through like this, let's stay inside and increase the volume. That one, punching through the clouds, is just one of the best views I can imagine. Like that one. And it's not as thick as a cloud layer, but when the clouds are like full all the way, and then you punch through them and just see like a cloudless sky up top, just looks so good. It's one of my favorite views. How about you, Alex? Did you notice any significant improvements in DirectX 11? Let's go and update the heading here. .007 007. Let's also increase the flight level. I think I'm happy with going to full 410 now. Flight level 410. If the plane can even reach that high. It's actually not in the vlog, so you won't actually find it there. But you can enable the experimental beta from the Steam library, beta stab. But there is no changelog. There are a lot of discussions on the SES forums though. Yeah, that's the one. And you'll have to go through each of the pages to determine the oh, this is my favorite part. This one guys. Let's admire the view. Oh, that one, exactly like so, as you punch through the cloud layer and just reach a cloudless sky. Okay, and then something pops up, but yeah, you get the point. Yeah, those are some thick clouds. Very nice. So that's why I don't really see a need to change the weather, the default weather from X-Plane, because this is, for me, that looks pretty good. I don't have any complaints with it. Let's extend the range here. Yeah, that's how the flight plan looks like. Real professional, lots of waypoints. Let me just double check as well. I can see it from here. Top of descent is 300 miles. Yeah, it's not going to be till a while. Do I need anti-ice? No, I do not. So I hope I don't need to, but we'll see. I think the windshield icing is reflected here, so we'll see. Also, I can actually turn off ignition now and lock this. Definitely lock that one. Yeah. And we've reached 18,000 feet. We can go to standard barometric pressure. Is that how you call it? Yes, I went with no mods. I have an existing profile, which has always been vanilla. So that's what I did. And sorry, I think the graphics engine is having a bit of a hard time. Yeah, try not to put in any mods in the meantime. Only difference you noted was perhaps an increase in FPS. It's the same with me, Alex. Although, how about the draw distance? Did you notice any change? Not sure if I was just imagining it or something really changed there. That is beautiful. SES has changed some of the traffic definitions. Ah, so that's why. Didn't notice a draw distance change. Okay, so that might be just me imagining things. I was hopeful. You used NL in the upcoming video. That's good. It works. Nice. There are deer on the road now. Well, Jack might be happy with that, huh? So what I can do actually is go through the SES forums, the updates through here, and we can see. We can discuss it as we go. I'm at like page 37. And right now there are like 44 pages already, or 45. See more stable FPS. Okay, yeah, it's consistent. But I was really so happy that the multi-threaded option is now a thing. Did you guys notice the same thing? Jay must be pretty happy. Your Threadripper must be pretty happy with the multi-threaded option now enabled. Speaking GPS, yeah, not implemented yet, unfortunately. Yeah, I was so happy when I looked at my threads, my cores. It's like, wow, even load on all cores. It's like, oh my goodness, it has arrived finally. Let's go and switch camera views. Can't wait for your GPS to laugh at you. I would love to make a voice pack when that happens. We'll see how we can make that work. Okay, you did find some stuff. Why are you not saying anything now? You can say it if it's experimental beta and so it's not confidential anymore. New F7 options, yes. Trailer config and stuff. That's pretty cool. Selfish advertisement. Okay. Point taken. Quick run on DirectX 11. Everything just looked nicer. Yeah, I don't think anything changed in the quality just yet. Performance though, it's very, very well. New chip fans look nice. They are in traffic too. Oh, I didn't notice. Didn't notice that yet. I'll have to check it out tomorrow. Moving to the next waypoint. The banking is a bit aggressive on this plane. It's a bit scary. Wow. Okay, good thing it's done. Chips, where? Don't make me laugh so much. Laughter comes with the coughing. How about the electricity start in the truck? Oh yeah, you're right. There is actually deer on the road now. I thought that was a joke. There's actually a screenshot here with a deer in there. Wipers now have 3 modes. Yes, that's what they say. How many? Was it only 2 before? deer cross in front of you. That is very nice. Jack will for sure have his shotgun ready. Not for long. Exactly. Back was trucking. Were you trucking in Europe or in ATS? Everything is about DirectX 11. And the deer, the crossing deer. What about your front? Oh, that's a real dad joke right there. Back to eco-friendly driving with the 4 Series, huh? Still climbing? Yes, we are. Climb rate is slowing down, but that's to be expected. I'm still at full throttle though. But normally, they say with this plane, the ECU should take care of the N1. But the thing is, I haven't really programmed any N1. I'm not sure if it's modeled into the simulator, so it might not work. But normally, you should just be able to, how do they call it, firewall. So just go full throttle, and the N1 should adjust, should lower down accordingly based on the calculations. There's actually a ref here, which is N1 ref, FMS MEN, but you cannot really change it. I'm not sure if it's implemented in the first place. I don't think it is. But hopefully the engine doesn't die on us if we just go full throttle all the way. Let's assume, it's roleplay, that the ECU is doing its job. You pushed your truck halfway, didn't you? 13.54. How the heck do you manage that? Do you, like, I don't know, travel at 12th gear the entire time? Hey Barry, yes, very unusual day. Time is the same, but yeah, day is completely different. There's someone who made a GIF. Oh, this is oh yeah, I know this guy. He's a YouTuber. TGM, or how does the letters sequence? DirectX 9 and DirectX 11. Minimal changes in the graphics, in the tires. Yeah, it's silly to expect the graphics changes though. Eco mode. How do you enable eco mode? There's a new Rust map fix out. Combines ETS St. Petersburg and Rust map City Center. St. Peter. Ah, okay, that's cool. Oh, that's amazing. Like the adaptive automatic eco mode. But that kind of sucks, doesn't it? It sucks with the shifting. I tried that before, it was not very good. Even Krishboom was recommending to turn it off because it doesn't work well with the revs. Yeah, eco mode, no mode, heavy mode. The adaptive automatic transmission, was it? Fun mode. Yeah, that's what I know as well, Gato. The one above it. But that is the one. I don't think there's anything else with that. Well, we'll see tomorrow. Oh yeah, by the way, I haven't told any stories about my meeting with Skull yet. Should I do that now or should I do that tomorrow where it's more apt with the trucking? I guess tomorrow would be a better time, huh? But yeah, remind me of that so I can share some stories from the Promos co-founder. Lots of insider info. Not really like secret stuff, but it's really nice to get into the mind and into the situation of how it feels to be inside, the difficulties they face, the challenges, the rewards, and the feelings, and the history. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I just wanted to thank Skull again because he messaged me that he was here, and thankfully I was not too introverted to decline, so I just went and let's do it. And it ended up being a pretty fun night, so thanks a lot, Skull. So for now, let's go through the SES forums with the 1.35 experimental, because I won't be able to do this tomorrow. While driving, there's no autopilot in there, unfortunately. Separate action sets. R-Device DX11, yeah, that's how you enable the DirectX 11. The thing about the force feedback, I saw Oscar's reply from SES. It's quite interesting, but it's just funny to me. Like one of the SES developers, Oscar, I think he's a developer. He himself uses the FFB plugin, so he doesn't use the default SES plugin. I just find that amusing. But yeah, he said the force feedback, the potholes on the road shouldn't be there. Or at least it was not by design. So maybe they'll still need to fix that. Oh yes, that's right, Alex. The trailer, truck stability, trailer stability, and suspension stiffness are now in the settings. So that's good. And they are the brake intensity 1 is now in the middle of the slider. AdBlue has been added. Not really. I also didn't notice any, J. Maybe it depends on which road you take. The advanced warning of detours, yeah. I haven't encountered it yet, but hopefully tomorrow we'll see it. But yeah, based on the screenshot you showed, it's pretty cool. You still have to manually adjust, right? The GPS, the routing, but yeah, it's a good warning. Some details about the trailer. Yeah, DirectX 11 for now is really huge performance benefit. I'm not sure if that is the same in all cases, but for most of the folks, it should be. There are some new trailer dealerships. Ah. Is it trailer or truck dealers? Epic Games is acquiring Psyonix, the devs of Rocket League. Wow, becoming that huge, huh? Are they also taking Rocket League itself? Or just the future games? Truck dealers. Are they in the game already? Can you see the logo? I guess not yet, huh? Otherwise it would have produced a much bigger bang. By the way, Jay, have you tried using Tobii eye tracking? Which do you like better? And I'm a bit confused there because I remember Kiralis tried Tobii eye tracking once before already with ATS, so it worked already even before. So what changed now? Mr. No comment. Fair enough, fair enough. Oh yeah, the high quality screenshot. I have to try that tomorrow. What's with the dino you posted on Instagram? That was in Universal Studios in Osaka. They had an event in the Jurassic Park area where you could go and meet the friendly dinosaurs. And that raptor, or however you call them, that advanced raptor kind of a thing, actually appeared behind the audience. It was a bit freaky in the beginning because it was like, okay, the Triceratops was entering, the Stegosaurus was entering, and we were all looking at the stage. And then suddenly you hear something like walking behind, and you look behind. It's this raptor, and the initial reflex is to like run or something because it's a raptor. But then it turns out it's a friendly one, so it's cool. Really snuck up on us though. Tobii eye tracker required an external software. Oh, did it? Okay. So it's not a straightforward Strack IR? Or it wasn't? I see. Cat cafe, yeah. Cafes are a thing. There are also dog cafes and everything. I wanted to go through that as well, but no more time. The cat cafe was really relaxing though. Here we go, next waypoint. Yeah, have a look if we are still climbing. Are we? Yeah, look at that. It's really having a hard time moving here. But we are still climbing, so that's good. But we are at almost flight level 370 now. Look at the fuel. You guys see it? Yeah, the fuel. The fuel burn. Goodness. 355. And we're how strong the winds are that we actually have to. We're not traveling in a straight line. But now it's built in the game. Ah, that's good. That's good. Not very friendly for streaming though, I would imagine. If you have to look at chat, then your eyes would get tracked looking to the right or left. Ceiling, reaching up ahead. Are we still climbing? Yes, we are. I think I'll have to change the flight level somehow so that we continue climbing at a faster rate. Maybe we can go 180 so we can climb faster. Truck electricity switch is perfect for trucks with air starters. Who has air starters? Mac. How does it work? I don't quite understand how this changes. how it works in real life, because I know like in a car you have like several notches, right, in the key. So one notch would be the electronics, and then the next notch would be the shift. Why are we not climbing anymore? Come on, you guys can do it. There you go, bit by bit. Once we reach 180, we can go start climbing again. You need to use the button box thingy. That's what I heard as well. I don't quite understand it though. So they have separate buttons for electricity and the actual ignition. Is that how it is in real life? On a truck with an air starter. One sec, huh? Why are we not climbing? We should be climbing at around 100 feet at least. Okay, there we go. That's starting. Good. And that should climb up slowly now. Perfect. Look at that amazingness. We are at 180 knots indicated airspeed. Crew airspeed is actually 348 knots and ground speed is 373 with the tailwind. It's nice. Right. So the big knobs, I guess. The key turns on the electrics and there's a push button for the start. I guess. Okay. I get it now. Yes. Something like in OMSI in some of the buses, right? That makes sense now. Thank you. So this new button that they introduced is simulating the key turn. And then the existing button is for the actual ignition. The starter. Graphics quality, especially for AMD owners. Well, FPS improvement. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, AMD owners are happy. For the button box, makes a lot of sense. Yes, because it's an official product. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Almost there. Climbing 200 feet per minute, but we're getting there. True air temperature, negative 56.5 degrees Celsius. Goodness, that's intense. Oh, did you guys see the random event with the temporary traffic signals? That looks so cool. I haven't been able to test if it really penalizes you though if you beat the red light. Oh, by the way, yeah, Nat Vander had the message that there are still some pretty obvious changes that have not been mentioned. Any idea what that is? He did so much more in Arizona than I ever thought SES would do. Yeah. Definitely. He went over the entire state of Arizona. This is Super Soaps, one of the global moderators in the forums. Standards from the Arizona show in the signage. He even went to the extent that added loads of new signs. It's like he integrated the ATS re-signing mod, exactly how I feel, into the vanilla game. Exactly. So huge props to Nat Vander. Thanks a lot, man. He's probably not going to watch this, seeing how it's an X-Plane stream and everything. Yeah, and I don't think he even knows me, but still, props to Nat Vander. Thanks a lot. Yeah, that's why I decided to start in Arizona, because I heard that Nat Vander was working on it and I really look up to him. He's really a great eye for detail. Jay says, I don't know. Is that an I don't know, like subtitled watch my video, or I don't know? Yeah, definitely. Those signages, I remember really loving them during the ATS re-signing mod by Nat Vander. So now, it's amazing. It's I don't know, okay. Yeah, I wonder what they have still. There's so many findings already. What else is there? Goodness. And if it's not Vander speaking, then it must be something with the map. Or maybe not. Who knows? We'll try and look for it tomorrow. This time I was able to mute. Saw several company trailer paint jobs. Oh yeah, I saw one in my vid, the Darwing. And people were saying that's like a combination of Boeing and Darwin something. You guys agree? Flight level 410, we're almost there. That's it. There, that's the one, yeah. That's so cool. So does that mean we'll get to pick up some plane parts? That's amazing. That's a perfect combination, right? Maybe we should be able to take up some, load up some tires and some truck parts on our plane as well. That would be cool. Special transport job. Yeah, that would be dream. Okay. We are now at flight level 410. Top of descent. Still quite a few ways off. I'm going all max out in the range here and don't see anything. I wish they would add that though, the distance markers in here. Because right now if I zoom in, I would have no indication of what really happened. Like how far that really is. From the distance I can see that this waypoint is still 57 miles away. So at least there is something in there, but so this is 50 and that's 25 probably. But other than that, it's kind of hard to know. So top of descent still is quite a few ways off. Like the ability to buy garages online. Have you been able to do it in your profile, Alex? Because I don't have that many garages. I think you need at least 5. This looks so cool. Looks almost like the real thing. Goodness. Any other update in the forums? Let me refresh one last time. You can do it, but you only had 2 garages. Ah, okay, so maybe it's a level thing. They haven't really specified the requirements there. It's all like a question mark for us. It's all how do you say, speculation for us. Okay, I think I've reached the end of the updates in the forums, and people are sleeping now because most of them are from Europe, I guess. Although this is ATS, so there should still be updates in the forums, but we'll see. Let me jump into the other forums, the one for Carenado for this plane. I've been very active there, posting bug reports and asking questions. So I've learned quite a bit. The developers have been very responsive, so really appreciate that. Autopilot pop-up panel. Ooh, this is interesting. Someone is saying that the VNAV is working. I haven't been able to make it work. 2 of 3 flights, the plane followed the FMS altitudes after I pushed the VS, then the VNAV. By following, I mean the autopilot controlled the descent rate, not me with the pitch wheel. Ooh. Let's try it later. Yeah, let's try it. So VS and then VNav. Maybe that combination will work. Wait, huh? Nice. Let's try it. Some park trucks at your garages. Wow, that's cool. It would look kind of weird though if those are not your trucks, right? Who's sleeping? No one's sleeping. Okay, maybe I'm sleeping a bit. Let's have a look at our stuff here. Oh, that's too clunky. Let's get rid of those stuff. Yep. I'm not a huge fan of the 2D panels. They really make a lot of they really make it more comfortable to adjust. Like there's an autopilot panel as well, but it just looks so unnatural to me, like the whole panel floating like that. I don't know, I don't like it so much. I really like fiddling with the actual controls below. How are we doing? True airspeed 397 knots, ground speed 424 knots. How does that translate to miles per hour? I don't know. I'm guessing around 450 miles. But look at the ceiling here. How do you call it? Service ceiling? The speed is much lower now. Around 235 knots. We should not exceed that point. Yeah, but yeah, the cool thing about this plane is it's really automated in that way that you can somehow just go full throttle. It would take care of the speeds, and the only thing you would need to watch out for is not to go beyond the speed limits, the structural or the FAA imposed speed limits, which is pretty cool. Okay, and now bleed air is normal, so cabin pressure is not really in a dangerous point, I think, hopefully. Yes, okay, yeah. Do you guys know more about this? I don't know how to read it. I'm guessing cabin altitude is saying like, okay, this is how the altitude is like inside the cabin. So when it's like more than 12,000, that means the oxygen is getting pretty less, pretty thin. So that's not a good sign. But the difference in pressure, I guess the difference between the outside and inside, and there's the pressure difference there. Maybe. But yeah, aside from that, not sure. But I'm not going to touch it for the fear of wrecking something in there. Just keep it as is. Top of descent, 112 miles to go. The 2D panels come in handy. Ah, can you do that in X-Plane? Good question. Let's try. Let's try with this one. No, you can't. At least not here. There are some windows which you can. I think like in AVTab, if you click this one, yeah, then I can move it to a different one. Actually, that's the only one you can see now, huh? It's like, yeah. What is that? Let's go and zoom out. There you go. Look at how fast we're traveling. Goodness. We have a tailwind? Barely. We have like 20 knots, more or less. Hey, Chi! How are you, man? Have you been trekking? Thank you for the raid, appreciate it. Welcome to the stream, guys. Quite a chill stream, not much happening right now. We're just cruising, chilling, discussing about the updates in the ATS experimental. Feel free to join in. And if you found any cool stuff in the experimental beta, let us know and we can all discuss it. GG, man. Glad to see you. Glad to see you streaming. How have you been? Just finished Promos 2.40, 6-hour stream. Nice. Hey Viz, welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining, guys. It's a little bit of sightseeing tour now. Just enjoying the clouds and the scenery. Yarr! Oh, let's go and check out the passenger view. How it looks from Jack's point of view. How many bags he's filled up already. That one. Let's close the others. Open the table here. Enjoy some stuff. Enjoy a drink or two. But man, that is really cool. Being able to fiddle with the controls like this. This is the dream with ETS. You can actually click on stuff on the truck. Right wing view. Don't unfold the table. What did you place there? Yeah, doing great, Chi. Doing great. Let's see you around, man. Hope you're feeling better as well. Some hidden bags fell out. Too late. Too late. And actually I forgot some things there. Let me go back to the pilot view. Because I forgot they still have their fasten seatbelt sign there. There you go. Oh, they can chill a bit. Doing good. Coming pretty close to the ceiling there. Let's we'll have to be quite wary of that. And let me just double check the performance table in here. So we're at flight level 410 and we want a high speed cruise. This is a long range cruise. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through it quickly. There, that's the one. Pressure altitude 41,000, high speed cruise. ISA is, I have to double check. ISA deviation is 0. Okay, we're actually at 0. Alright, perfect. Standard atmospheric conditions. So ISA at how heavy are we now? Around this point maybe. Indicated max speed so should be around 0.73. RPM should be 104.3, 104.1. Should be pretty close to where we are. Yeah, we're at 104.4. But let me lower that down a bit, just a tad. Very, very slowly. There we go. 104.2 should be okay. The fuel flow is actually pretty good. Because we're so high up in the air. 41,000 feet. It's actually very economical now. This is where this jet really flourishes. This is where it becomes worth it. Hey, thank you for the bits, Chi. No worries, man. No worries. Yeah, 6 hours. I can imagine. Have a good night and thank you for the bits. Glad to see you around and yeah, hope you're feeling well. GG, man. Thank you. How are we doing here? Let's go and do more sightseeing. Top of descent still not in sight. That's good. Once we start our descent, we'll look at the weather over wherever we're going. Actually, I forgot already where we're going. That's not good for pilot, I guess. But we can review it here. We can review it in the FMS. So we are going to that airport right there, wherever that is. Okay. Runway 27. Okay, we'll check that later if it's still appropriate. Right now we're flying over Louisville. Let's zoom out a bit. Good night, man. Alright. Thanks a lot, Doc. Thank you for dropping by. Yeah. Catch you guys next time. Really appreciate it. Have a good night, guys. Zoom level 9, I guess, would be nice. Get a high level look at where we are. Look at that, there's a place called Frankfurt. Interesting. Engine 3, oh, so that's what it is. That's pretty cool. I like that emote. Yeah, it's nice. I can actually zoom in here using the chat function inside OBS. When I hover over the emote, it gets blown up. Bloomington. Do any of these places sound familiar to you? Indianapolis. That rings a bell. Supercharged engine. Oh, a TSI. Don't do that for emotes. I just did. That's why I can see the the meme friendly emote you had.
The number you have dialed cannot be reached, and that's okay.
That one. Zoom in. There we go. JSet cool. Pretty nice. Why is encoding getting overloaded? Oh, GPU memory. Dang it. I have a very bad feeling about this, guys. I'm not so sure if we'll be able to finish the flight, because I'm starting to get encoding errors in the video, and the GPU memory being used is around 6,600 MB out of, I guess, 8,000. I'm going to observe it if it continues climbing, but there might be some kind of memory leak somewhere. Keep your fingers crossed. That would be a shame. There we go. Top of descent is close. If you check the ATS teasers thread on the SES forums, there's a post showing new Washington assets. Ooh. Does it have any like Boeing stuff in there? Let's review the legs here. The next level would be flight level 378. So we can actually set that already. You know what? We can actually you can even go lower than that. Yeah, let's go to like. Let's do it one at a time. Okay, flight level 378. 378. And what the guy said was he plugged in vertical speed and then VNAV, and that worked. We will see. You will see. Several new business prefabs. Oh, I think I saw it in the blog. But yeah, the Darwin signs. Yeah, I'll have to look at that. That would be interesting. Maybe they have some of the 737 Max in there. Hopefully that gets settled soon. You see how far till top of descent? 30 miles to go, and that's going to go by pretty quickly with the speed we're going. Fuel is also looking pretty good, so glad I put in so much fuel. Yeah, at this rate, at this point, we don't want to risk it. So just the heading bug. Did you notice the windows on the side of the car? I did not. I did not. Do you know what those are for? House and then mouth. It's the next waypoint. And top of descent should be somewhere in there. You guys see it? Yeah, there it is, right after house. Okay. So right before we reach that point, I'm going to try the vertical speed thing and let's see if it works. They are painted to look like windows on the side of the fuselage. Ah, interesting. So like a fake window, something like what this plane has. Cool. So something like, oh, that looks so good. Lighting there looks so good. We have to take a photo. Actually, I like it more without the so fluffy clouds. I think I like that better. There you go. It's a bit noisy though. And then we'll have to see if the throttle gets adjusted automatically. Even if VNAV works, I think how it works is the auto throttle would also work, because that's one of the limitations. That's why they didn't implement VNAV, because it changes the throttle settings, and this plane shouldn't have auto throttle. It's going to be a bit weird. Okay, let's make sure that the clouds don't get overblown. There we go. Moving to the next waypoint. The sliding axle trailers, that's very cool, isn't it? It's a bit of a shame that there's no real animation in there, but I'll take what we can get. It's good that it's there in the first place. I can imagine what the modders will have in mind for that. It would probably be pretty interesting. So 6 miles till top of descent. Let's go and set it up already. Let's see if that works. So what it said was vertical speed. Set that to 0 and then VNAV. Does it really work? Maybe it has to be moving like that. VNAV? Not really. Okay, let's see. VNAV. And then let's give it a chance to see if it will change. Okay. Okay, 1 mile till top of descent. And it should start now. Nothing? Nothing happens. Nope. Not working for me at least. Okay, let's do it on our own then. We gave it a chance. Let's slow down and adjust the pitch. 3 degrees descent. I'm also adjusting the throttle so we don't end up speeding, going beyond the speed limit here. .5 degrees, that's 3 degrees, more or less. Wow. Actually cut off. Actually at idle now, not cut off, but at idle. Just to keep it tight there. Next leg is 290. Okay, 290. But it's good at least there's an indicator for top of descent. So at least we have a guide, even if VNAV isn't fully implemented. Actually, this is where this 2D thing comes into play, huh? So you guys can see it better. And I can also see it better. I'm starting to appreciate it now. Okay, I think I can turn off track IR again. Just keep it like this, so we have some views. Right, so while we're continuing with descent here, we should be able to... is that enough for 3 degrees? Yeah, I guess that should be fine. Should be able to look at the airport now. There's no weather information still, so we'll just continue with runway 27. So, and I think it's an ILS approach though. No, without ILS, okay. It's RNAV. Okay. 4390 feet, alright. So nothing to set up in terms of nav or course anyway. So we'll just keep it as is. Would be nice to know the altimeter settings though. How do you know that in case there's no weather information available? I guess normally you would get it from ATC, from air traffic control, but maybe not right now. Also, I noticed the speed tape is adjusted now, so we can go with better indicated airspeeds at least. So I think what we can do is we can throttle up again so that we can pick up some speed. And so we don't descend too slow. That should be fine, as long as we're keeping the pitch anyway. And I hope we get some like a thick cloud layer later on as we're descending, so we can go through it and then see the runway right there. But we'll see. We'll see how it ends up. Crap. Forgot to set it up. I'll have to change it. Okay, so but I think we're still a bit early. I'll set to flight 259, so at least we have checkpoints if we're traveling the right path here. Let's give it a chance again for VNAV, maybe that works. Vertical speed, VNAV. No? No, not working? Okay, fine. Pitch it this then. Maybe it also depends if the altitude is set. Because I think there's a difference if the altitude is like small or large. I think that depends if you manually maintain it or if it was computed by the FMS. Maybe that has some bearing, I don't know. Go, just keep at it on our way to Zippy. But man, this jet really flies. Just goes on and on. So fast. You can really travel so far with this. Track 023. Mm, 259. The next one is 198. I guess we can just continue like this. Have a good night, Scotsman. Catch you tomorrow, man. tomorrow should be ATS heavy. We'll be sticking with vanilla though, most probably. I don't want to introduce any mods just yet. And hopefully we find that thing that Nat Vander was looking for. We can accelerate now. I think we can afford to be at around 290 knots or something. Goodness, don't make me laugh. Yeah, I can imagine the must have some pretty big arms now, huh? All for the sake of being eco-friendly. Push. $1.8, $1.85. Yeah, that's fine. $290 knots should be the magic number right here. Just adjusting the throttle bit by bit, really subtle changes. 11 miles away. We are almost reaching flight level 198 though. Let's make the pitch a little bit shallower. Crap, we're leveling off. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, that's the problem with not exact descent. It's a bit manual, so it's not going to be as accurate. But that's fine. We'll adjust. We will adjust. $1.85. We'll keep it here for now. And then once we reach the waypoint, we will continue with our pitch. Actually, we are descending bit by bit again. Yeah, that's fine. So I really need to know the setting now, but not sure. There are no ATC or no frequency whatsoever. Can we just request for altimeter and ATC? I don't think so. I think we need to file a flight plan. So let's just cheat it a bit here. 3005. Alright, I'll take note of that. $179. Where are we going anyway? UBOP. So we should be at 185 for now. Flight level 185. But then the next waypoint is going to be very, very short. And are we close? Okay, Passu is 3 miles away. 179. Altimeter setting 3004. Okay, noted. I'll keep my eyes peeled. That seems to work now. That's nice. Radar thingy. But how can that be? That may be a mountain over there. We can see it in the terrain. I'm still not sure how it works or if it even works properly at all. I guess we'll see. Next waypoint is 14,724. Now we can really pitch in. Okay, 3004 altimeter. There you go. Let's double check that it's still the same thing. 3004. Okay, good. And air temperature is -17, so there might be risk of icing in here. I'm just going to turn anti-ice on just to be on the safe side. I think that looks good. Next one is actually 6,000 feet. And then we'll be coming close. Yeah, there we are. 6,000. I have to catch up a bit on the... have to slow down because we're coming close to 10,000 feet. And I have to move to 6.5 altitude here. There you go. Pitch. Lower the throttle bit by bit so we slow down. And we end up at 250 knots right as we hit the 10,000 feet. Going through the clouds, my favorite thing. Let's go and check that from in front like this. Because that really just looks so good. This is quite interesting. They're like cloud layers. And then there's a gap in between where like sandwich like a burger. And then you go through the clouds again. How's that looking? Let's turn on track IR here. And can I have a cushion and tape, please? Floaty landing is part of the deal. It's part of the package. Don't you like floaty landings? 30 knot headwind. We're looking pretty good. Speeds are good. It's raining. And it's raining. Just consider it a bonus landing. Yeah, you don't like that? 2 landings in 1? Oh, weather is pretty bad. Goodness. 2 for the price of 1, exactly. Coming close. I think I have to prepare for approach now. And I should have opened my landing lights already. Seatbelt signs on. Oh, that is beautiful, really. Let's go through that way. And there we go. Yeah, it's still a bit foggy, but that's as close as we can get in this flight. I'll take it. I'll take it. Arm the ignition. Unlock the lift dump. I think we're all set for landing. Level 6, 5, 6, 2. Alright. We're coming close to that 6,500 now. I think I'd want to slow down as well. Just so by the time we turn, I'm at 200 knots. Because I can only extend my landing gear when we're at 200 knots. So keep it steady. Okay, we arrived a bit earlier than the point, but that's fine. Wow, very bad weather. I think we have the proper runway though, because winds seem to be that way, headed like northeast, is it? Something northeast, and we're going to face the other way as we make our turn here. Next altitude is 2,500. Set that up. No. There you go. And we'll set that up as we turn. Which head? The one that hurts when hit. So the question remains, which head? Goodness. Icing? No, I don't think we need anti-ice anymore. Air temperature is not that cold. Jadar overload. I know, right? VNAV, does that work? No, it really doesn't work for me. Okay, fine. Now, let's have to set VREF. And let's have a look. 11,000. Wait. And if I look at the VREF speeds here, 11,000 is at 114. Okay, that's fine. 114 it is. So if I double check, VREF is 110. Let's make that 114. There you go. This is latest, and then we'll move more. We'll turn left a bit, and that should be final approach already. So this is more like base. Yeah, that should be good. Ice cream on the wings. Icing, where? Like that, just not on the plane. Icing anywhere else but not on the plane. So as we turn here, we should capture the glide slope, the pseudo glide slope, I'd like to call it. But we'll see if that's enough. Oh, we should be fine there. There we go. Glide slope has appeared. I think we can slow down our descent here. Just keep it as is. Something like that. Wait for the diamond here to come across, and then we'll hit approach. So we follow the glide slope. How far away are we? We're like 10 miles away from the runway. And I see it. Run field in sight. Kinda-ish. Yeah, that's the one. All four. A biplane jet? Wait a second. Runway heading. Click it. Okay, there you go. Approach. There we go. I think that is working. Let's lower the landing gear. Let's lower flaps. One level, and then we'll adjust as needed. 'Cause There we go. We are following the glide slope. Perfect. It's much easier to follow it with the with RNAV. I guess it's a bit more inaccurate, right? Because it's mainly based on the GPS, but it's much easier to follow for me. Please don't stop at 2.5. Lower flaps one more. Okay, it's going beyond the altitude setting. That's good. It's really following the glide slope. That buzzer sound is really intense. Use your feelings now. I will soon. Last level of flaps, and as we reach 1,000 feet off the ground, I'll turn off autopilot and I'll see from there how it looks. Wish me luck. Lift up, armed. Slow down. Okay, there we go. 1,000 feet. Autopilot, yaw damper off. We have just a minor crosswind. I don't think we need to be concerned with that. I'm pitching up so that we slow down and match with the VREF. Made that sound. Didn't turn the key properly. Wrong sequence, wrong procedure. We're a bit low. I think I can make it still work though. We'll see. Wish me luck, guys. I'll need it. And you'll need it as well. So that we aren't as floaty. Come on, slow down more. Okay, there we are. Now we need to use my feelings. Whatever that means. We are right at VREF. That's exactly where I want it. And now I should be just able to cut off the engine like so. Pitch up, pitch up, pitch up. Ah, floating again, dang it. Okay, let's make this the proper landing this time. There we go. Lift dump. And brakes. Is that the end of the runway? It is. Good. And we can turn off at the end of the runway. Yeah, it says to like cut off or go to idle at that point, but when I do that, the descent becomes too hard. So I think I have to adjust it. Maybe I have to be more subtle about the lowering down the throttle somewhat. Yeah, or maybe I should lower it gradually until the point that when I'm at that area right before the runway starts, I cut it off, but that's fine. Yeah, we can discuss this all night long, but the only way I can really perfect this is via practice. So the concept is with me, but in doing that is a completely different thing. So yeah. Thank you for pointing that out. Appreciate your support. Now, where the heck? Okay, I think we can go through here. Or is this going back to the runway? Maybe. Well, we'll find our way. Oh yeah, I think this is a runway. Whoops, my bad. Let's make a U-turn. Made a wrong turn somewhere. Should have been that other one. Just passing through, guys. Don't mind me. Lots of fuel left. Not that bad in terms of fuel consumption. We maybe consumed like a fourth of our fuel. We'll replay the landing again later. And then you can criticize me all you want again. That's the beauty of streaming. You get to see all the mistakes. Oh, and I can turn it off again and clean up. There you go. Lock that. Let's make it through to the parking. Actually, that's perfect timing. Stream is almost about to end anyway. Didn't expect it to be that swak in terms of timing. I thought I would have to like fast forward a bit or something. Nice. Yeah, I understand. And it's constructive criticism. But yeah. There's no nice way to say it, I guess, is how we could put it. But yeah, I know, I agree. We still have to get Jack's head out of the ceiling. Let's worry about that when we stop. There are no mistakes, just happy accidents. Yeah, I like that point of view. Let's stick with that one. So I guess we stop somewhere here. Can study experience. That's very true. That is very true. Definitely agree there. Oh, look at that. It's not too bad. Only thing is it doesn't want to move anymore. Just punch it a little. There you go. There we go. I'm happy with that. Happy little trees. Okay, so let me try and remember how this works. Bleed air off. How does he do it? I'm trying to remember how P1D does it. Avionics off. Engine 1 cut off. Turn off the generator. Engine 2 cut off. Turn off the generator. And now we can turn off the engine. Or the batteries rather. And from here we can fly or maybe walk to the door, open it, and then let our passengers disembark. Let me turn off track IR, it's easier. Jack was flying his stream earlier. I take it that's not a good sign in that case. Open the door. Off you go, guys. Off you go. Hard landing. Just a tad, huh? Just a tad. How did it go? Was that landing with your ATV? Let's finish the flight. There we go. How much did we earn there? Let's have a look at the log. Alex pushed you off a cliff. Ouch. Were you guys hunting together? He flew away. 1 hour 30 minutes, 400 miles. That is amazing timing. If we compare that with some of our older ones, like this one, even with the 737, 1 hour 20, 340 miles. Yeah, it's quick, really quick. Such a fast jet. 3,900. Earned quite a bit there. I like it. And now we can store everything in the bank and let's get some interest in there. I think the plane, Premier One, I think there are some planes sold that are how do you say, they are sold at around 600k, I think. Let's have a look. 7 for sale. If we look here, actually no, crap, 800 to 900. I think prices went up a bit, so quite a bit more to save up for, but that's pretty cool. He looked so majestic floating through the air. At least we have that in common. Right, let's have a look at that hard landing. Let's close the door. Wouldn't look nice if we're airborne and have the door open. That's the one. Everything looks good at this point. Kind of. Quite professional looking. But the moment I cut off, I go to idle, which is around this point. This one. Yeah, still with the nose up. If only I could approach it as smooth as the second landing, I'll be happy with that. I'll be happy with that. This just really wants to fly. Okay, let's have a look at that. How that looks from here. Okay, so I have engines at idle already at this point. I hit the ground here. It's not so bad. It's like 200 feet per minute. But yeah, that nose up is, I think, really... Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, it's a bit hard. Yeah, when you play at the normal speed, it's a bit hard. So with that, when that happens, I try to minimize the descent, but I've already hit the ground. So when I lift my nose up, I kind of take off again. I wish there was a way to like just replay the landing over and over. I mean, try it over and over instead of having to go through the entire flight, but maybe that's too much to ask for. Sometimes you have to prepare for it though. On top of the practice, you need to know what you did wrong. Yeah, that nose up there. How do I get rid of that reflex? Yeah, that one. Okay, I'm happy with that. Okay, and just like that, it's 11. Phew. That was a long flight. Anyway, thank you for staying all the way. Thank you for the constructive criticisms. Can you call it that? Can you not save it 5 minutes before landing? The saving doesn't work very well. I can try it, but I doubt it, to be honest. Like the switches and the status of the aircraft rarely gets saved properly. I'm not sure if in this case it would work, but yeah, maybe it's worth a try. Well, I guess I'll just do more flights just to have more income in the process, more money. Even if the landing isn't the best, still earn money off it. Good thing they don't deduct anything from that. You might have to be slower when descending. Maybe I computed the wrong VREF then, or maybe I should stay on the VREF longer. That would give a more, how do you say, stable approach. Yeah, we'll try to lower it down next time. Anyway, thank you for staying with me this entire time, guys. I know it's not the most action-packed, but thank you. Glad we had that discussion about the update, experimental beta, and all the other stuff. So we'll catch each other tomorrow again. This time for ATS, and hopefully no more hard landings then. We'll see. Short hops for the win. Haven't destroyed the plane, so good job. Yeah, I'll take that. Thank you guys, GG. And one more zoom on that emote. There we go. That's the stuff. Thanks, guys. Clumsy flying, indeed. And have a good one. Catch you tomorrow, guys. Bye.